Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So there's big news coming for Cardano. Charles Hoskinson just did a Periscope stream and mentioned coin burning. But how can this be? Charles is so against coin burning because he believes it's a gimmick. So what is this all about? Well, let me explain. Also, there's some fantastic news, of course, for Bitcoin. It is coming back up again. So let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and the whole ecosystem. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are feeling good. You know, the market is looking good, strong once again, right? Not that it wasn't strong. I mean, but it has been. But, you know, the whales, they'll do the whale-ish things, right? Yesterday, out of the blue, no reason, Bitcoin fell down to 54,000. Absolutely no reason at all. Then it came right back up to 56 when I was streaming. Then it fell back down to 54 again. And then boom, look at where we are now, above 57. So, of course, there are still whale-ish games going on. The whales manipulating Bitcoin at this point. They have always done so. They're doing so now, but you know, it's really small, right? Unless you're like staring at your portfolio every single second, which I know some of you guys do, right? You don't even pay attention. You wake up the next day, you're like, okay, nothing has happened, but really there was a lot of stuff that happened. But you know, they do this because they want to scare out retail investors, right? Scare out the newbies in the space. But those of you guys that have stuck with me and stuck with crypto over the years, especially even the last few months, you realize this is absolutely nothing. This is nothing, and Bitcoin is going to continue higher. It's just that simple. Now, let's get to the main thing about Cardano coin burning. What is this all about, right? Recently, a lot of people have started getting discouraged about Cardano, wondering why it's not going up. Why is it stuck at $2.12? Why is it not moving up with the market? Why is it not going back to $3, right? And why is it sitting at number 5 and not number 3? So some have asked Charles to talk about or open up coin burning, because that seems to be a very effective tool in terms of raising the overall value of coins. You see it with Ethereum. Ethereum's EIP 5059 has burned a ton of ETH out of circulation. And many others also have coin burning already. For example, Terra has coin burning. Avalanche has coin burning. I mean, there's several other projects. I mean, even Shiba is introducing coin burning, right? And unless you don't know what coin burning is, well, let me just explain. Coin burning is basically you're destroying a coin and taking it out of circulation. So obviously it causes a deflationary pressure on the total supply, which in essence will increase the price. Now that is something that Charles has said many times before, that he will not do because it's a gimmick. Basically, it's causing artificial price increase, and that is not something that he's interested in, right? Because he wants Cardano to be used for practical applications and wants ADA to be used within transactions and DeFi and NFTs and everything else that comes with it. But interesting. So he just posted this. You know, it wasn't that. You know, so the thing is that I looked at this and I was looking at it and I'm like, what is this really? The proof of burn challenge. So I found this and I was looking at it. I'm like, this is interesting. What does this mean exactly? Right? Well, Charles is not discrediting. He's not introducing like Cardano as a whole to coin burn, right? Because he still does not believe that. But he believes in choice. He believes in if people want to voluntarily burn their coin, burn their ADA, they should have an option. So there's this proof of burn challenge. And what this challenge is, basically, it's a challenge to incentivize people or projects to come out with a really easy way to burn ADA. And then if in the future, if anyone wants to burn ADA, go ahead and do so, right? So basically he's providing options. And I thought that's very, very clever and very interesting. It does not make, it doesn't introduce as a whole where, a lot of projects burn ADA based on transactions, right? It does not introduce something like that, but it does, once it's implemented, it does give developers and users a way to burn their ADA. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, will that pump up ADA or Cardano to the moon? No, that itself will not, even when implemented. But I do think that is quite interesting. And this whole concept of coin burning and making the token, the token economics basically deflationary is very, very interesting, because there's basically two ways to cause scarcity, right? Basically, number one is you could have a set supply. Number two is if you have something that is inflationary, right? Doesn't have a set supply, what you do is you do coin burning. So that really the two ways to make something deflationary. Of course, if you have the supply, demand outweigh the supply, that's another way. But yeah, just wanted to talk about that real quick. And it's interesting because, ever since Cardano hit that first $3 point, right? Since then, it has come down. So a lot of people have been feeling very what's going on? Why is it not moving? Should I give up? Should I move to something else, right? But I think people forget that beforehand, Cardano went on a tremendous, tremendous run, and over the last year went on a tremendous run. So it may be boring right now. It may be consolidating, and maybe some of the others have gained more momentum. But Cardano is definitely not out, not by a long shot. And I do think it's going to continue up when the market picks up and continues forward. So there you go. All right, so that's what I want to lead with. Now, what else is there? I found, moving back to Bitcoin, I found this to be very, very interesting, Now the US is the world's biggest Bitcoin miner, beating China by a long shot now. For years, China has always been the big dog when it comes to Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin mining farms and everything relating to Bitcoin mining. You go back even a few months ago, in January 2021, you could see China is in deep red, brownish color. Even back then, they held over 50% of Bitcoin mining's hash power. But because of the push, because China pushed out basically all the miners, almost all the miners, not everything. But now, as of July, right, the U.S. now dominates. The U.S. has more miners than any other country in the world, and approximately about 35% of the world's mining hash rate. Now, it could have increased. This is only going up to July. August, September, we don't know, but that number could have risen even more. So, yeah, I think this is positive. This is why when Bitcoin was being pushed out of China, of course, we had a little bit of a dip. There was a lot of FUD. I've always argued this is great. It makes Bitcoin's network more decentralized, right? And that is exactly what happened. Now we have a ton more mining in North America and spread across other countries. And El Salvador is about to open up the volcanic energy Bitcoin mining facility too. That's going to be a game changer. And there's several other countries that's definitely welcoming Bitcoin miners because of their cheap electricity. So this is very positive. Of course, a lot of talks about mining facilities and miners purchasing a ton of mining rigs, right? Like this one site for mining to purchase anywhere from 28,000 to 56,000 mining rigs. That's a whole lot of rigs, right? And right now, there's a lot of metrics that show that miners are not selling anything, right? All the American miners, basically North American miners, are hoarding and holding everything that they mine. And not only that, they're purchasing more. They're borrowing against their Bitcoin to purchase more. It is definitely a race to the very last Bitcoin, right? And if the miners are not selling, retail investors are not selling, institutions are not selling, you know what that's going to lead to? It's going to lead to Bitcoin going much, much higher. Supply and demand. It's really that simple. What else is there? According to this, the total TVL of DeFi projects within the space, within all the chains, now have exceeded $200 billion. 200 billion. Billion with a B, right? And Ethereum is still the top dog, but it has dropped from 98% down to 68.5%. So that's like, almost a 30, yeah, it is almost a 30% drop. But it does show that the entire ecosystem continues to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So pretty darn good. This is one of the reasons why 2021 is very different than 2017, is because we actually have DeFi, we actually have dApps that's being used. One of the very fundamental differences between right now versus before. And it's not just Ethereum now. Back in 2017, Ethereum obviously was the big dog and there was no one else close to Ethereum. But now you do have competitors like Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, and Phantom. And speaking of Binance, Binance has about 18.66 billion of that out of the 200 billion, right? It is still climbing. And Binance recently announced some big things. For example, CZ was going to put 1 billion into a fund to fund DeFi projects. And also I saw this. They're launching a multi-year partnership with SS Lazio to kick off Binance Fan Token platform. And this platform reminds me exactly like Chili's. Exactly like Chili's. And they're targeting the same kind of, clubs out there. So I don't know what this means for Chili's, but it does mean that Binance is literally getting into everything. Everything you could think of. From a chain to an NFT platform to a fan token platform. Like literally everything Binance is a part of. So it could be a reason why they've started coming up recently. Last two things. Polkadot speculated that, yes, Parachains is coming soon. Right today, there's a talk whether or not that's going to be announced. The exact date, I don't know, but Polkadot has been doing pretty well recently, a little bit stronger than the other altcoins because a lot of people are excited about parachains. And once you have the 100 parachains, the auction's going and they become live, it's definitely going to help Polkadot as a whole, right? So they're kind of done and kind of not. Parachains actually is the last step, and then afterwards they will be done. So that should be around the corner. And finally, for those of you guys that are Voyager fans, Voyager was granted a European trading license. So they will be able to roll out their mobile platform, right? Really good platform in Europe in Q1. And think about how many billions of people will now be able to trade crypto on Voyager. So will this help them in the future? I certainly hope so. All right, that's pretty much it. Overall, hey, Bitcoin, like I said at the beginning, a little fake out, right? The whales want to fake you out. But you know what? It's recovering. Bitcoin is an unstoppable train right now. And it's definitely looking good. And the next 3 months, or this 3 months, I should say, Q4, are definitely months that you don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. I don't have any water with me. Oh boy, I forgot my water. All right, scrolling down. I need to look deeper into quant. Yes, I do, Jake. Dave asks, is coin loan located in Estonia a safe DEX to use? Generally speaking, DEXs are pretty safe because you control, right? You still control your wallet, and you control your own funds, right? But you still have to be careful. I still get emails every so often about how someone wants to participate in an NFT drop, right? So they think it's relatively safe. They go to a website, they click mint, it connects to your wallet, and then it just drains out your funds. So you still have to be careful, right? You're in control. For DEXs, I don't hear that. With NFT minting, I hear that all the time, right? So I don't know. CoinLoan, I've never used them before. If anyone else have, maybe chime in, but I've never used them before. So yeah, anyways, be careful. Be careful. What else? They're scrolling down. Is recent Coinbase won't list VET because it's in China? I think that's something to do with it, but not really, because there's other coins that's not US based, that's also Asian based, that has been listed. So yeah, yes and no. Did I see the ADA 1 million NFT sale? I did. The very first NFT that went for $1 million on ADA, I think it was yesterday or a day before or something like that. So all right. Scrolling down, trying to catch up. Have I a chance to review Centrifuge? It sounds very familiar, but no, I don't think I have. Unlocking liquidity for real-world assets. Bridges assets like invoices, real estate royalties to DeFi borrowers can finance the real-world assets without banks. And yeah, that just sounds like a horrible idea. I'm sorry. That just sounds a horrible idea. Yeah, there are some things that I feel like just should not happen. Like, for example, what Centrifuge is doing. There's so many complications, so many red tape. It's gonna be really hard to define. So I sorry, no, nope. Yahoo Finance reported Polkadot Parachain auctions November 11th. Okay, I didn't know it was reported. I thought it was coming from this, but okay, maybe it got leaked out or something. Josh says audio platform, Devova, okay, it's a rebase token. Okay. What is it? Buy. Don't buy? Really? All right. Then I guess we should not look at it because it says don't buy. Clint asked, yes, that was in San Antonio. It was like a really nice retreat area for weddings, but it happened to have like an off-road trail there for some reason. All right. What else is there? New member. Look into Ryoshi Vision created by people from SHIB. You get Ryoshi for staking SHIB. It's deflationary. I think I'm memed out. All right, I'm memed out. You always say retail isn't in the market yet. Have you considered they are, and maybe they're aping NFTs this time instead of meme coins? No, no, because the volume of NFTs is still very, very small, very small. And has nothing to do with meme coins, and has nothing to do with, most people out there are just, I think they're just waiting. I think they're expecting. I think most people expects that there's gonna be some kind of doomsday crash with the markets, with equities, with Bitcoin, right? I think there's just a lot of people that are just sitting on the sidelines. But once they actually do see that Bitcoin is not crashing and goes above 100,000, I think that's when FOMO comes in. Veracity? I like Veracity. I like them. I think they're doing the right things. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Is it a good time to DCA into Luna? Where do you think it will be at the end of the year? Yes and no, right? So recently, obviously, I talked about rebalancing my portfolio, right? So make sure that you have a good amount of Bitcoin. In my opinion, I think that everyone should have a good amount of Bitcoin, up to 50%, right? Because Bitcoin dominance can continue to run up. Like right now, it's back up to 45.33%, right? Because Bitcoin is running again. So you have to, I think, protect yourself, minimize risk, right? And make sure you have that Bitcoin on hand. And if you do, and you still want to DCA, right? You still have money left over and you want to continue to buy more in DCA, then sure. Get into the big cap, the ones that I've talked about, like Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, VeChain, Algorand. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Harmony, Phantom, the layer ones, the layer ones and layer twos, the network protocols. They're definitely the ones to concentrate on. What do you think about Hedera and Secret? I have 600 capital. Do you think good idea? Yes. If you have such a small amount, I would say just go with Bitcoin. Just go with Bitcoin. And then as you build more equity and build more cash and get more cash, I would say, then you could start diversifying into the others. But I would say start with Bitcoin first. eGold, I have no idea what eGold is. Oh, are you talking about Elrond? I'm sorry. You're talking about Elrond. Yeah, they have like some $15 million investment thing going on or something. It's a small piece of news. Hey, another member. 2 new members. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Jordan is a psychopath. What do you think about Algorand? I think Algorand is promising. They've been around for a while. I've only started looking into them recently. But El Salvador did pick them to run their infrastructure or to store data from their infrastructure. So that's pretty good. But also, I mean, like a lot of network protocols, they have a lot of stuff going on. They have this big program to incentivize DeFi projects. They have DeFi and NFT projects coming on board. I mean, just like all the other ones. I mean, they're making good progress. All right. Anything else? I'm new until I get my questions answered. Okay. Litecoin, please. Let's not bring up Litecoin. Let's not bring up Litecoin. I don't want to go on a rant about Litecoin. All right. That's pretty much it. So to sum up, Bitcoin is doing good. Charles is talking about proof of burn challenge, right? Introducing possibly coin burning for people that want to do it and developers that want to do it. And I do believe there's already projects that are submitting their application. So that could be coming, right? But overall, guys, the market is looking strong. Bitcoin is looking strong. Make sure Make sure you have enough Bitcoin in your portfolio because it's definitely going to help you in the next 3 months. All right, guys. Yeah, like Corey, like I always say, whenever I stream, the market pumps. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.